What is going on, YouTube? So today is another day where I bought more crap. I really wanted to put an intrusion bar on my X3. I do have a windshield, but the added protection, and I love the way it looks. I keep investing on the stock cage, but I got this for a really good deal. I bought it on eBay. It is OEM. It is off a brand new 2020, so pretty stoked on that. I already kind of started opening it, and it's perfectly fresh. There's no scratches or anything like that. All the hardware's included, so super stoked. So we're gonna be putting this on right now. I already did start taking off the roof. You gotta remove the roof for this because you're gonna be utilizing these two bolt holes on the top of it. And I'll show you that. It's actually got a part of the frame or part of the intrusion bar that clips around this. And then I haven't done a dry run yet, so we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna try to put the middle part first and see if it kind of hangs on that, and then I'll put the side pieces. I'll bolt it all loosely and see how much play we have on that. But for right now, I'm gonna wheel this thing out. I'm gonna push it out of the garage just so we have more room, and we'll go from there. Let's see. All right, so you do got to put these cross member legs on. They're on there loosely. They are slotted bolt holes, so you do have some adjustment. I have seen some too come just like that, where there's like a gap. I'm gonna try to avoid that as best as possible. I think that happens because they tighten these top ones to the cage first, and it kind of gets rid of the adjustment. So I'm gonna start on the bottom and start tightening those up to where I like them, the spacing on them, and then I'll worry about the top, because cosmetically that's more important than up there. That's hidden by the roof. And then I do have to adjust the roof because from factory, I mean, look at that. It's too high. It's got to be flush with this, so that looks like a 17 millimeter. I'll be checking that out here in a few minutes. But I'm gonna fish this thing through. That's gonna go on, and I think we're gonna fish one side at a time. Kind of put it cocked, and then start bolting it down. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so we got it hung up here. Right now we're gonna focus on getting these parts attached with the brackets that they have. The thing that sucks about it is it's not a threaded backing plate. They are nuts, so you might lose some damn hardware, but we're gonna do the best we can. But yeah, so we're gonna bolt these up, and then we're gonna play with this and try to get it as center as possible. Tighten these ones down on both sides, and then we'll start messing with the alignment up there just to get it solid. All right. All right, so something that I noticed from the factory is, I mean, this whole cage is like spring loaded. So what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna use a ratchet strap to pull it down, and I'm gonna use the bar that the seat is attached to, just to bring it to where I could tighten it properly, because it has way too much tension from the factory. So let's see. This way. I can see why people put aftermarket cages now. And it doesn't need too much torque, but I need to do this so I get it where I want it and tighten it down with the bolts, so I get this intrusion bar down to where it'll actually be effective. And so that's about it right there. Yeah, so that looks proper. It's got proper engagement now, what it looks like. This is nice and straight, so we'll go ahead and tighten that down. This is feeling pretty square. And so then we'll just tighten it. These things are torqued down like crazy too. I had to bring out the long wrench. And so we'll do this side and then we'll do the other side. All right. See where that's at, unspring it. Yeah, look how much load was on that. But yeah, looks good. So then we'll move it over to the other side and do the same thing before we start tightening all this intrusion bar down. All right, so we got this as spaced evenly as possible, at least to my likings. And so we're just gonna snug these up. Again, I'm just trying to maintain even spacing for cosmetic appeal. It doesn't really, I don't think it affects strength or the integrity of it at all if it's spaced unevenly, but to me it's got to be symmetrical. Otherwise, why do it at all? Kind of look funky. So check the spacing one more time. Looks pretty good. Looks like there's a little more of a gap on that side, but snug this one. Very odd design. It's weird. It's like when you tighten it, it actually gets a bigger gap. It's weird. That looks good. And then once you get that spacing right, or you know, even if you care about it or not, totally up to you. But yeah, I'm gonna mess with it a little more, get it to where I want, think it should be, and then we'll push it all the way to the top of the cage and get it aligned up there. Make sure it's all nice and snug against the cage, and then bolt everything down. And you go from there. Decided I've already been using the ratchet strap to get it as snug to the cage as possible. I'm gonna hook it from here to the cage and just draw it close, so I don't have to keep struggling with anything. It'll just you know, find its way home by drawing it in, by drawing it closer. So we'll do it that way. Works smarter, not harder. I know most people aren't this anal. If you look at the ones that come from the factory, they're definitely not this straight. But I mean, I added this as a bolt-on, right? It didn't come like this, so technically for me this is an upgrade. This is an accessory. So I just want it as clean as possible. I mean, I'm the one doing the work. I know how it was installed. You know, it wasn't some guy at the factory that didn't care much about how it looked or not. I do, so I'm just trying to make sure it's right. As right as I can make it, anyhow. And so I'll just look at it from the side. This side is nice and snug. It looks great. This one is touching as well. I'm super happy with that. That looks killer. It's sitting nice and flush. I'll try to bring the camera in here right now as soon as I tighten this. But this is where your 13mm wrench and your ratchet's gonna come in handy with a T30 torque bit on it. And then we'll just start tightening it. I'm not worried about no side to side right now at all, actually, because I leveled it down there. That should square it up, and I'll check that right now. Just snug, because again, we gotta check square and all that good stuff. Make sure she's where we want her. Okay, we'll go around to the other side, snug it up, and check her out, see how she's looking. Alright, so she's nice and snug. So we'll check her out now. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna tighten these now. Given that this is all, yeah, this feels good. Alright, but see what I was talking about here. See how it's against the cage, the radius here? And it's actually notched right here to clear these welds, which is kind of funny how they did that. But just looking at it, it's looking all right. Let's make sure it's even with the other side. Kind of seeing how that's going. And it is, it looks identical to the other side. Again, it's against the cage, see? And it's notched for the welds to clear. So yeah, we'll tighten this guy. make sure we're happy with, yeah, super happy with the spacing. I mean, there's a gap on both sides, but it's even, right? So we'll torque these guys down. Make sure that all looks square too, because you could pinch this side more than the other. So do it in even increments, just so you're getting even torque. And then take the bubble wrap off and give her a rip. Put the roof back on, and then I gotta worry about the windshield later, but I'll probably notch it. I don't know, safety is more important, and I love the way this thing looks, so we'll put her all together and see how she looks. Get a before and after photo. After you've torqued all these bolts to good and tight, is the torque spec on this, good and tight. We're gonna go ahead and release this ratchet strap, and it didn't have any spring back because it's seated, so there's nothing to spring against. Like I said, it's where it wanted to be in the first place. They just didn't do that from the factory. So pull the ratchet strap out, and I think the best part is we start pulling this bubble wrap. That thing's got some tape on it. Certainly packaged this thing well. And there she is. That's what she looks like for the first time. Let's check her out. So all the spacing's all even. Looking good on both sides. Gap remained closed. And I'm not talking about up here, I'm talking about right there where it's completely snug against the cage. That's what you want. You don't want it overlapping like it was when I first got it. The whole thing was spring loaded, and from the factory they didn't put my cage on right, where this wasn't level. Now it is. Since using the ratchet strap, it's as level as it's gonna get, which gave this a straight line, which made this seat. And that's what you want. That's where your strength comes from. Okay? But man, we pay a lot of money for that name right there. But super happy with the way it looks. Well, that's it. Clean up. I'm gonna have to find out a way to reroute this for the light bar, but I'll make sure it's all tucked up nice. Might even try to go through there or something. We'll figure it out right now. But yeah, super stoked on the way it came out. Now you gotta put the roof back on, so that's super easy, and go riding. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, but I'm trying to document everything I'm doing because the stuff I'm doing, I'm not really seeing too much on. I do see some reviews, some installs, but nothing too in depth. So hopefully this helps somebody that's trying to figure it out, or helps them in making a decision whether they're going to buy this or some aftermarket one or not do it at all. This was super easy. This guy helped me, so it wasn't too bad. Make sure you got a buddy. You don't really need one, but it's nice to have one. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Later.